Okay, today we're review. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and here in Farpoint Studio it is a little chilly, but we're going to go ahead and talk about the Mandalorian today. He's back in this tub, the Bacta tank, and we find out finally this is going to be his last flashback because he will have finished his treatment. They also explain in this episode what that treatment was for. And we won't give that away, but that was it. We see a lot of flashbacks on how he met Fennec Shand and how he rescued her. That she has some mechanical replacements that they got at a mod parlor off Mos Eisley. And I don't know if that has anything to do with her speed or endurance or anything like that, or if it's kind of like they did for Luke Skywalker in the end of the Empire Strikes Back. It just kind of replaced parts that were already there, and there you have it. They don't say too much about it, and that's just as well. In Star Wars, they've never been one to explain their technology greatly, and that's one of the advantages, actually, that they don't have as much technobabble as they would have in other sci-fi things. It just is there, and it works, so move on. We do know that the reason that Boba Fett ended up at the palace of Jabba the Hutt was basically to spring his ship, which had been impounded there. And since Bib Fortuna became the reigning crime lord there, it was his intention to make his way there and try and get his ship back. And as he told Shand, was the idea that he had was to retrieve his ship, get his armor back, and overthrow Fortuna and take over as crime lord. And she says, why do you want to do that? You're a bounty hunter. You make money that way. And he said that he was tired of working for people stupider than him. And this seems like kind of a retirement plan for him. Instead of going out and doing the hard work, would just sit on the throne and wait for the tributes to come in. And that seems to be reasonable enough, at least in story. We see when the flashback, as they are taking the palace, that there's droid cooks and things like this, and some interesting little, seasoning to the pot, if you will, of how the world works. That was kind of interesting to look at. There's some good lines in there where he brings in Fennec to into the mod parlor to be saved. Essentially, she was just about on the point of death, and after having thrown some money at the unwilling proprietor of the place, he said, "You should have started with that." At any rate, we had other good lines. Living with the Tuscans has made you soft, and it was worth a shot in context. They were good lines. The flashback stops about the time that they had the episode in The Mandalorian where we first encounter Boba Fett, and they briefly explain how he got there and how his armor got away and how he gets his armor back. So that pretty much brings us up to the present. As we said before, he doesn't need any more flashbacks because now we know how he's gotten to where he's gotten. So future episodes will rid us of all of the flashbacks and actually get to what he's trying to do here. Now, what it looks like is that we have in the present a problem with the Pikes, and there's going to have to be a battle with them. Now, the other regional crime lords don't want to have really anything to do with him, but he offers them autonomy in exchange for their neutrality when he has to battle with the Pikes. And at the very end of the episode, Shand is saying that, well, we're going to have to build an army. And Fetts says, well, all you need is money to do that, and I've got that. And there is a very subtle giveaway here in that the Mandalorian theme plays. Now, we know at the end of The Mandalorian that Ken Jarin is the holder of the dark saber, and you can't just give that away. So it makes him kind of the king of the Mandalorians, and so he would be able to, for the right price and the right moral reasoning, I suppose, be able to put together an army that will bring a big fight probably at the end of this book, in which we'll be able to rid Tatooine of the Pike Syndicate and then restore something, no doubt, to the Tuscans. So that appears to be where we're going with this, and so a decent episode, although it's still a great deal more ponderous than we've seen in The Mandalorian, which seems to be kind of what I'm comparing this with, where you have a person with a moral code, a lot of heart, protecting someone who needs to be protected, and going on adventures. And this is not a bad way to do a TV show. And in fact, most TV shows, dramas anyway, are about someone that's trying to help somebody else. And in fact, there have been some of them where they've been very direct about it. And like Highway to Heaven, Michael Landon, who plays an angel, says, "I'm here to help people." And that's essentially all there was to it. And that's boiled down just about every Private Eye, every cop show, everything where you have your lone good guy. He's out to help people on the road to whatever redemption he is looking for. And I think that's kind of where we're looking. So although it's more ponderous, it's a little slower getting there. We've finally gotten almost to the point of where we're finding out what's going to go on, or can at least figure it out. And so I expect the next couple of episodes to pick up in action and in direction that we've been lacking essentially all through this, because they've been spending all of their time in exposition. So I'd like to know what you think about this. Please let me know in the comments below, and we will read them with interest and answer as many as we can. And of course, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so, because that helps us along the way to keep the channel going. And so until next time, don't go far.